Hi, welcome. Today I would like to talk about CSS pseudo selectors. So let's get started. Basically, I have an HTML page where I'm including a style sheet style.css, and I have a div with an ID. And actually, I'm not going to use this. And then there are two paragraphs. So if you look at it, that's what I get. So let's go and start playing with pseudo selectors a little bit. So let's say what I'm going to do is for the paragraph, I'm going to add a different font, for example, font, or maybe let's just do font size here and make it 150%. And let's say I want to just do this whenever it's the first letter. So we can use some pseudo selectors such as first letter, for example. So in a paragraph, the first letter, we're going to change the font size to 150%. We are going to change the color to red so it's easy to see. And I'm going to apply a text transform to make it uppercase. And let's say if we just did this, what would happen here? If you go through and you can see the first letter is now uppercase and is transformed. So let's make sure in the HTML this is happening. So I'm going to change this to I, a smaller case, and look at my result. And you can see the result I am still getting an I. So that's an example of how you could use the first letter transform. For example, you could also play around with this one if you want to. It's called the first line, and that should basically change the first line and apply it there. So let's see the effects. So you can see this became, all of it became uppercase and in red color. So those are some example. Another one you could try as a pseudo selector is let's say first child, and that should only affect the first paragraph. Okay, I made a mistake. It should be two double colons, not three. And here, I think I made a mistake here. So here you can see that it applies to the first paragraph, but not to the second one. And that's because its first child is this one. Another pseudo selector you can play around with is that can be useful is called before and after. And typically the way it gets used is you may want to insert something before this paragraph, and I'm going to specify the content. So let's say I can specify the content to be let's say we just want to call it Gore Associates, for example. And let's say if we apply this pseudo selector, what happens? So you can see when you apply this pseudo selector, it's going to insert Gore Associates before this paragraph. Another pseudo selector you can apply, for example, would be after, and it would do essentially the same thing, but after the paragraph or where it's being applied. So this is actually a short overview I gave about pseudo selectors. I would recommend learning more about all the other pseudo selectors, and thank you for watching this short screencast, and you have a great day.